Hello. Hopefully only 3 minutes late. How is everybody doing? I spent the 3 minutes trying to hang some art, so it didn't look like this nasty wall with scribbles and pock marks from years and years of whoever had this place before me. This is the deep bat cave, the dungeon, the the dark recesses of where nobody goes deep down underground. And hi, Allison. You are the first, and Mari, you are the second. Everybody, tell me where you're from. Yay! Hold on, I'm gonna grab another shirt. I was wearing this before, but then it got hot. So I just grabbed the first four paintings I could find, and I know you can kind of only see half of them, and I'm blocking them and whatever, but I tried to hang them straight, and that's why I'm 3 minutes late opening up. So we have Indiana, Minneapolis, Bethlehem. Yay. That's very close. Charlottesville. Yes, Stan, we are live. Thank you. Thank you. Massachusetts, South Carolina, Delaware, Batavia. I swear that's like what's it called? Sounds like an Eastern European country, that the name of that town. Texas, Michigan, Massachusetts, Cape Cod, more Michigan, North Carolina, Australia. Yay, Australia. Hope you guys are doing okay with all the struggles over there. I know I blame the kangaroos. I think I'm the only person I've heard with that theory, but I really think the kangaroos have caused a lot of trouble, and I think you need to hold them to higher account. But there's been people don't realize this. See, I study. There's been a long ongoing war between the kangaroos and the koalas for like centuries. And only a native Australian really knows this stuff, but I've researched it enough that like it's just a thing. It's a thing you gotta speak to the natives to learn these kind of things. Indiana. I didn't get excited about Bethlehem. I said Bethlehem is the closest place listed to where I am right now. Cleveland, yay. Vermont, yay. Mississippi. Chicago, I missed it. Hi, Chicago. Dalton, Georgia. Everybody's getting a little bit jealous if their city isn't called out, or their state. Indiana, where's Dickerson Run? Is that Pennsylvania? Michigan. I was rushing down here. At the last minute I ran upstairs to get my charger for my camera, and then I hadn't closed the booth, and like people tried to shop, and they were like really not going to buy. They just wanted to poke around and talk and smile and not buy. And I was like, yeah, I can entertain that normally, but I have to go downstairs and get live, and you guys are holding me up. And I couldn't say that to them because technically mall hours, like they had every right to be there. And so I was like, here, buy this much off. You're getting it right now. And they're like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, yes, you do know. I was literally picking up rings and shoving them on their fingers. I was like, you like this? It looks great on you. I'll make it fit. Look at this one. This one. I swear, I did do that like 7 times. They kept taking them off and, oh, no, thank you. Oh, but they wanted to keep looking and looking and looking. And I was like, oh. So I just started talking faster and putting the pressure on. And finally, I was like, okay, I'm going to go less than half price. Take this. I gave away one of the best rings ever because I just needed them to go. I mean, I didn't give it away. They paid for it, but they paid like a fraction of what the listed price was, which is totally fine. Like, I'm totally fine with that. I would do that all day if I had customers all day. But it's been so dead. Like, nobody had stopped by at all for like a long time, and I was in and out. I wasn't even checking on it. So the fact they showed up at the last second was crazy. Okay, so anyway, Sorry. Let me go back. Southwestern PA, St. Louis. Okay, that's where I was. Hi, Idaho, Fort Wayne. I said that. Teddy Bear is doing great. Um, we I connected with both beautiful women. One is going to drive down to Florida and take him and stop in Virginia to drop him off to the person in Virginia who's going to adopt him. She had a cat for 16 years who just passed away, and she and another woman live in this house together, and they are home all the time, and they don't have any other pets, so he's going to get all the attention, and it's going to be great for him. He has no idea. Right now my dad is still babysitting him and keeping him in a separate room where he's probably not super happy, but he always is so grateful. Even if you leave him in there for hours and you'd think he'd be bored out of his mind, you come in and he's like, hey, and he wants to be petted and purrs and purrs and purrs like he was just got back from a vacation. Yeah, I'm working on a website. The this tech guy who works next to me, he's like, you got to do eBay. eBay is the only way. Another girl offered to make me a website, a standalone, not on anybody else's site. I don't like that idea because then I feel like until she teaches me every little bit of the nuts and bolts, which could take a long time and could wear her patience down, I'm gonna have to bother her every time I need to post something new. Whereas like eBay, Amazon, those kind of places are more user friendly. Um, I found out Amazon isn't the easiest to get into. You have to go through a lot of steps and be approved, and so that right there makes me cringe and think, oh, I'll try something easier. I could always go back to Etsy. And now that I have a lot of you guys watching, I could actually promote the Etsy and people might actually go there and buy stuff as opposed to. And then there's Shopify. Someone, yes, I see Shopify. That looks great to me. That looks like the up and coming thing, but I don't know anything about it. So what I have to do, and I should do it this week, and you guys can hold me accountable before the next time I go live in a week, is to look at all these websites and compare the rates and the fees and the user friendliness. Paranormal investigator, that sounds fun. Um, yeah, I had Etsy 3 different times, and my latest one was over. It was almost 2 years ago, and it's all. Um, I'd have to open a new one, but anyway, yeah, the girl who offered to make me a standalone, she was going to do it through GoDaddy, and she was just going to do it like kind of like a favor, but with the expectation that I was going to give her something, but she wasn't really going to quote me anything. Because that's a new business venture she wants to do, is making people websites. And she was the daughter of somebody who I've gotten to know in the mall who is very, what's it called? Who is very trustworthy. And the definition of insanity, according to Einstein, is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. So that would rule out Etsy if I'm going to do it for the 4th time. The reason I would do Etsy again is because the first 3 times I just didn't have a way to promote it. And that's the whole point. If you don't have a way to promote it, it sits there. You're like a drop in the ocean of 3 million other artists who are going to work harder at promoting their page. Okay, so one person is saying they don't recommend standalone website. Um, I mean, I'm familiar with Etsy. It's incredibly user friendly. Like it's as easy as setting up an email, and um, so I mean that's probably where I'm going to end up defaulting to. I don't know how long this water is down here. Hopefully water doesn't go too bad. But I'm thirsty and I forgot to get coffee or hot cocoa or anything before I got in here. I had to just rush. I don't believe YouTube has an actual thing that you can sell on. According to someone who last told me, if you get your Instagram above 10,000 subscribers or followers, then you can open a Shop Now tab and connect to whatever you want to sell in. A lot of people have said Facebook Marketplace. I could try that. I like the idea of some kind of dedicated and again, I don't even know how if Facebook Marketplace does this, where like people can go to see your thing and they don't see other people's stuff around it. They just see your stuff, and then they can scroll through just your stuff if you have like 10 or 15 items up. Um, but yeah, Shopify links to Facebook and to uh yeah, the standalone website with Wix or whatever. That was what the other girl was saying. She's saying, "Don't do that. Let me do it for you." And she was going to use GoDaddy. Um, and she had already made one for her mom's store, so she knew how to add the shopping cart and all that stuff, and it was like a piece of cake. Um, I what I have done, I did this 3 times about 6 months ago. Is I put up about 10 or 15 of my pieces that were in recent videos, and I just put a price on each one, and I told people to bid if they want to bid higher. A few times people bid each other back and forth 2 or 3 times. Mostly someone just claimed it and that they got the low price that I listed it for. But that was just on my Facebook page, Matt's Crazy Art, the page, not the group where everybody talks, but just the page where I repost videos. And the first one, I had a huge response, and I sold like I listed like 15 things and sold like 11 of them. And then the second time it was pretty similar. And then the third time it kind of started waning, and I really only sold like 2 pieces out of like the 25 I listed. So after that, I gave it a rest for a while. But um, I'm also, I mean, all of you live fairly, a few people live close enough to visit, and a few people have visited, and that's super awesome. Most people live too far away. I'm probably at some point going to need to hire somebody to just help with running a like part time, like a few hours a day, just manning a website and mailing everything out, because the amount of time I put into the videos, I just don't think I'm going to have the time to be listing everything and then tracking it as it sells and packaging it and running to the post office every day. That's something I'm really bad at. A couple of people here know that I've been meaning to mail out something for like a month to 2 people who won a prize, and I finally had ready to mail out, and I reconnected with both people because I had lost the addresses, and so I don't want to put myself in that position where people are buying stuff every day and I'm falling behind. Um, what's it called? Getting it to them. It needs to be a well-oiled machine. Hi, Ontario. Um, I'm in central Pennsylvania, like an hour and a half west of Philadelphia. That's my area at the moment. I don't like to say exactly more detailed than that, just because you guys are all awesome, but who knows if this video will be seen a year or 2 years from now when there's gazillions more people, hopefully, and some strange person will want to be a stalker or something. So I'm trying to um, figure out how to balance that. A stalker, not a stalker, a stalker. Yeah, all of you're pleasant stalkers. You're not creepy ones so far. Yeah, Aaron, let me know when one will turn up. We'll see about that. Or actually, nobody even knows if there is one. That is the mystery. A bodyguard. No, nobody has threatened me. They've only threatened me with uh wanting to chat too much. And I don't mean that to turn anybody off. If you have a question, you can still message me. I still have time to, like, people message me all day long with legitimate questions. And even though if they're questions I've answered before, like if I have the time to shoot off a quick answer all day long, I'm here for you guys. You guys make everything work. I love you guys. But when someone who I don't know at all switches from where do you find your wire? Oh, that's a quick answer. Here's a couple websites. To what you doing? How was your breakfast? What are you having for lunch? You want to just hang out and talk for a couple hours? And like someone who I just met, I didn't even meet, someone who just asked about wire a minute earlier. But anyway, that's very rare. Very, very, very rare, but it's still funny when it happens. And it's even funnier when I'm like, I'm really busy right now. And they're like, oh, I guess you're not, I guess you don't care like I thought you did. Yes, square wire. I want to do it really bad. It looks awesome. I went to buy some the other day and I couldn't find the kind I wanted. And that's on the to-do list. I have so many things on the to-do list, but keep reminding me. Yes, I'm sorry. Somebody asked, can I be a moderator? And somebody's asking again. I don't know if it's the same person or a different person, but I don't know how that works. So if somebody in person explains to me how that works and it looks like I need one, I will look into that. So far, everything's been pretty good. Like the 99% of you are super amazing people who just love to do art and post your art in the group. And if you're new here and you're like, what's the group? Go join the group, Matt's Crazy Art Group on Facebook. Not to be confused with Matt's Crazy Art Nothing, which is the Facebook page. You can join both. The Facebook page, you just click like and then you're following. The Facebook group, you got to click ask to join, and usually it'll automatically allow you to join unless you're a brand new profile that looks a little sketchy. Then it sends me a notification and I have to accept you. But E6000. Okay, heavy gauge is different than the softness. If I'd have to know what gauge it is and what softness and all that stuff. Gauge just means how thick it is. And then what kind of wire you have. Copper is standard. Aluminum is very soft. Copper apparently comes in 3 different hardnesses. I didn't realize this till recently, but dead soft is like the most natural, normal. That's what you expect. And then they say have half hard, which means they hardened it somehow, which I don't know why they do that. Copper is already like just enough, a right amount of struggle. And then there's something even harder than half hard, and I forget what it's called. It's not called full hard, like whole hard. I don't know. It's not what you would think, but 10 gauge copper, no way. 10 gauge is not 10 gauge. The only thing I would do with 10 gauge other than use it in plumbing or electrical work is, if I even knew how to do that, is I bought 10 gauge once from the hardware store. It's the only place I could get it. The only thing I could do with it is muscle it around a pipe, literally a pole. Muscle it around an actual pole if you can get something to cut it. Yeah, you're going to need a heavy duty like wire cutters, like not the kind that they break open locks with, not the kind you use for jewelry. And then just take one piece and just wrap it around a pole and then hammer the 2 ends, and you have a cuff, like a nice men's or women's cuff with one piece of wire. That's it, because that's how thick that stuff is, like as thick as a chopstick. Yeah, necklace for a tank. There you go. Sorry, I'm missing some of your comments. Let me go back and read them. Oh, thank you. Yay. I don't even know why they call it dead soft. From what they told me at the last person I talked to on the phone at one of the wire stores, dead soft is just natural copper. Makes it sound like it's like, I don't know. I get most of my wire from Parawire still. I tried Rio Grande and they have better prices, but very, very little selection. And to get the better price, you have to buy a ton in bulk, which is fine. But they carry mostly raw, uncoated wire, which some people like. I'm not into that at the moment. Post earrings. I can do a video on post earrings. Sorry if I'm hiding my face. Yeah, hold on to that square wire. I'm going to see if I can get some and then do some videos on it. Um, Anybody see the octopus disaster? That was so much fun. The amount of horribleness it is the same amount of greatness that's going to come out of new videos from. I learned so much in making that disaster. Thank you, thank you. 8 gauge. Oh my gosh. Um, Yeah, I bought wire from Amazon once because I wanted a smaller amount and I just needed it fast. I wanted it in 2 days, which I got, and Parawire comes in like 5 to 6 days, which is not terrible. But I wanted a lot. I wanted a little bit of wire really fast, so I got 3 different kinds of silver, and it was hard. It was that bouncy silver that kinks and makes sharp corners. Everybody tells me Parawire has the good soft silver now, so as soon as I run out of the other stuff, I'm going to order more. Um, I'm gonna do another octopus. I was gonna do it today, but today just got away from me. And then out of nowhere, this this what's it called? Oh, I talked a lot about Australia when I first came in. I wanted to let them know that I hope they're doing okay over there, and I want to give them some insight that they should probably blame the kangaroos for a lot of the trouble they're having right now, because people don't realize to blame them, but you need to. And the kangaroos and the koalas have been fighting for centuries, and the government needs to look into that. Um, Thank you, Carla. Thank you, everybody who gave compliments. I haven't named you by name, but I don't know the right way to do these things, so I just put up art. Did you see I put up art? I didn't even I didn't even have time to make it. Now it's like ugly, disgusting walls around the art, and you can only see parts of the art, but that's okay. It was better than the last few ones where you just saw ugly, disgusting wall. Yeah. The Wallabies, that's a rock group from the 60s. That's not a thing in Australia. I don't know what you're talking about. Um, yes, Miss Nancy, we can see you. Um, the Wallabies, they had like 3 hits. It's like I want to be a Wallaby with you. That was their big one, I think, in like 63. It's a weird, unknown, fairly obscure band. The Drop Bears, that's scary. That's scary. The Drop Bears are like that's where the Santa Claus idea comes from. Drop Bears, they just like they repel. Like that's where the Army Rangers got the idea to repel from helicopters from a rope, because these drop bears, they get up in the highest tree they can and they take a vine up with them, and then they actually secure a very good knot, and then they just come down and drop down into a crowd of people and pickpocket everybody and knock them over, and then they get pulled back up by their little gadgets. So scary. Um, they're like otherwise they're like beefy koalas. They're like koalas, but they're like special forces koalas. Like they have these big muscles. They just people start screaming, "Oh, what's happening?" And then zoop, and then they're up back up in the tree like 100 feet up, and no one can find them. It's really scary. Um, I know I don't have trouble with shoplifting because I'm so ADHD that I never realize it's happening. Like if anything's missing, I don't take inventory well enough to know. But that's actually not. I'm not joking. That's partly true. The other part is I've never noticed it. Every time I thought something was missing, I went through all this stuff and realized it was just an oversight. I've had problems with employees skimming money, like 1 out of every 4 employees I've ever had, and I've had like 20. At some point, I caught being dishonest, and that's scary. That's much worse than a random customer swiping something that maybe cost me $2 in supplies and 20 minutes to make. Um, but I retail some things too. Not everything at my booth is handmade because I wouldn't be able to keep up with the customer demand at certain points. So I retail some stuff that fits in. Like I just buy stuff in bulk and resell it for a little bit more. One of the things I buy is men's stainless steel rings, and those, I believe some of those have gotten swiped at times. The guy who watches my booth next to me thinks so too. He has a better sense of keeping an eye on what's there and what wasn't there, and he thinks a couple teenagers have come by at different times and taken a few, but they literally, I buy them in such huge bulk that they cost me nothing. So the loss to my revenue is like a few dollars. But all right, where the cute. Thank you. What am I missing? I'm reading comments. Sorry. Anyone rewatching this is probably like, what is he doing? Just staring at the screen like he's in a comatose petite mal seizure. Hoop snakes. Hoop snakes are harmless, but they're so cute. They're like basically these little snakes that make natural hula hoops from reeds. They like twist them around and make a little circle, and then these little snakes, they're doing the hula hoop, and they just appear to entertain. Like nobody knows why they do it. They think it's a mating dance, but like groups of them will do it, and they'll do it not just for the female snakes, but they'll do it for like any group of animals or people that come by, and they're in a clearing just doing their hooping, and it's really entertaining, and they're just really adorable, the hoop snakes. It's like Australia has a lot of interesting creatures. I haven't ever been, but I just read a lot. Am I a Gemini? I like to work with gems. Gems and I like to work together. I hope that's what you meant. If you've done Facebook Live, then people, I'm assuming somebody was there and watched you and gave you feedback. And if you did it a few times, I'm assuming you learned some things that you like to do, and just do those on YouTube. And I just start a channel and just do it. And then tell your friends on Facebook to watch your YouTube channel. It's hard to get people to watch in the beginning. What's it called? But yeah, the biggest thing I learned about everything, selling, YouTube, making jewelry, is no matter how many people you ask for advice and help, and I asked a bunch of people before I started, nobody's going to answer what you really want to know to even 5% of what you really need to know. You got to do it, and you got to make the mistakes, and you got to figure it out, because the answers to what you're really looking for, you're going to find them on your own. And that is not a cop-out. That doesn't mean you shouldn't ask for help. I asked for help when I got stuck in little glitches here and there, but overall, like 95% of what got me to anywhere that I was ever successful in anything, YouTube, selling at festivals, selling in a mall, being a real successful artist and not a starving artist, all of that came from doing. You can't tell if the beads will have holes big enough for the stretch cord. Sometimes the size of the holes listed in the description, it's usually not. So you just gotta try it. I would say don't go for the cheaper stretch cord. If you have really tiny holes, just don't use the beads. 1 millimeter, you want 1 millimeter stretch cord. If you have to go thinner, 0.8 millimeter, don't go thinner than that. That stuff breaks so easily. You'll be selling a bracelet to someone and they'll break it the next day. The 1 millimeter holds up. It's much stronger. It's like ridiculously stronger than the others. So I try for that. No, I haven't been following. I am aware of the fires, and I think it's awful. I haven't been following all the details, but I just I know that the kangaroos probably started them because they're vicious, and I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to act like I'm an authority, but they have roof snakes too. I didn't know about that. Yeah, the hoop snakes are exciting, and then the drop bears are scary, and then the the koalas and the kangaroos have been having this war, like two tribal forces fighting each other, and it's been going back and forth for centuries. It's awful. Yeah, Kathy, yes. Yes, build your own style. Um, ugh, that's horrible, Nancy. Yeah, getting known like is absolutely 100% hard work. Just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Just keep making videos and um making videos and making videos and making like the entire first year that I was making these videos, I was putting in 6, 7 hours a day. I would make a video, I would go to Facebook, post it, tell everybody to watch. Sometimes if I was feeling really crazy, I would go to random websites and post it there, like random Facebook pages that had nothing to do with it, and just post links to my videos and say, everybody come watch this. Almost nobody paid attention, but I just tried everything. I would stop people. And when I was selling, because I was selling full time every day, I would, every time someone bought something, I'd say, hey, do you want to join my YouTube channel? And I'd take their phone and make sure they joined right there on their phone, not wait for them to go home and forget. Is a lot of work. And even with all that, the first entire year, almost nobody, compared to who's watching now and compared to what a successful channel needs, almost nobody was watching the entire year. I was probably losing tons of money, thousands of dollars that I wasn't putting into my booth and making pieces and selling and talking to customers because I was huddled down. I was teaching myself to video edit. I would edit every video like crazy. I don't do that anymore. I just mostly just shoot the video and put it up. That way I can put up way more videos. And you guys, I had to learn from you guys. I had to learn that you care way more about me making the videos you ask for as fast as possible than you care about little editing cool things like, making it all tight, editing out all the pauses, zooming in, zooming out, putting cute little bells and whistles and music here and there. I do a little of that, but I used to spend like 8 hours doing that on one 5-minute video, and I don't anymore. That was something. That was one thing I learned that like totally changed everything. Was making way more videos, and stop trying to edit so much each one. That really started boosting my appeal or my attention, the amount of attention I was getting. Happy New Year. Sorry. I'm missing a lot of comments here. I feel like I'm falling behind. AliExpress takes between, if it's coming directly from Asia, which it usually is, it takes between 10 and 22 days in that window. If you order a bunch of stuff, it's all going to come in different packages on random days. So it's kind of like Christmas. You don't even know what's in each package because it's usually in Chinese, and they all look the same. They're all yellow or white, little lumpy bubble wrapped packages, and they just show up. Like when I place an order, I usually order about 100 different things, and I usually get about 3 or 4 a day for the next, like I have to wait a week and a half, and then they start showing up, and they show up every single day for the next 2 weeks after that, and then they start to drop off. I don't even know what ninja bears are. Different levels of membership. I don't know. I don't have different levels of membership. I have oh my gosh, Christy is teaching us more about the hoop bears and the hula skirts, koalas, whatever she said. Sorry, I'm like all over the place. What was I saying? I have a video on stretch cord bracelets. I'll literally put in Matt's crazy art beaded stretch bracelets. Matt's Crazy Art beaded stretch bracelets. You have to put Matt's Crazy Art or you'll get somebody else's video and it will be horrible. But so put my name and then put stretch cord bracelets or stretch beaded bracelets. Oh my gosh, Nancy, that's horrible. Okay. Do I try to help others with their channels? I try to help whoever asks if I can. And if I, if like you're the first person to ask. So honestly, yeah, memberships and Patreon. That's what they meant. I started a Patreon. I thought it was too early. Like, who starts a Patreon at this level? I thought you have to be like huge. But this awesome drill sergeant in Portland, Oregon, or some part of Oregon, kept on pushing me, and he's like, "You got to start one because I want to join it." So I finally started one, and I am not good with putting all kinds of little perks on it for people for different levels of membership. So I just put some levels up there, but I think you can put any amount of money down you want. But I put up like $5, $10, whatever. And I figured if you're going to go all the way out of your way, I put like a bonus at the $25 level and the $50 level. Like every other month, I'll send a free piece of wall art, which could be one of like a painting, like some random painting, or a free piece of jewelry, like every other month. And I owe at least one person something at this point. See how bad I am with this. But so far, I only have, as of this date, I have 5 subscribers to Patreon, which is awesome. I didn't even expect to have one yet. And first of all, this guy's like, you got to get one, until he wore me down and I made one. Then he's like, he signs up, then 2 other people sign up, and then he's like, you got to promote it. So now I promote it on most videos. And now I have like 5 people signed up, which is super awesome. My ordering is more sporadic than my attention on this video. Like, I order when I need to, mixed in with when I remember. I might order, and also the website gets glitchy, so sometimes I'll put in a bunch of stuff and it'll fail to go through, and I'll get really irritated and walk away and do some other stuff and come back 2 days later and try it again. So there's no rhyme or reason to my ordering. AliExpress usually has free shipping if you do it right. Their shipping is very low. Everything is low. Everything is awesome. So, but there's a gazillion sellers on there, and everyone is a little different. You can compare prices, try to find the cheapest one, but usually they're very close to each other. They're within a few pennies difference in price. Okay, you guys are just full of questions today. I can't keep up. Last week it was like a lot of dead time where everybody was just chilling and hi from Delaware. Hi Renee. Arrowheads I get from Amazon. That's where I found them. That's where I've always gotten them, and they've been very low priced. I put in jasper or agate, and then I scroll through and try to find the best amount for the best price. And you also have to look at the size, because you might get teeny tiny ones that are way smaller than you wanted, or super ginormous ones. So I try to find the ones that are like 2 inches long, 2 to 2.5 inches. No, don't refrain, Angel. You can ask tons of questions. I'm not complaining that tons of people are asking questions. I'm complaining that I'm so disorganized with fielding the questions. I start to answer one question, then I'm scrolling up, then I'm scrolling down, then I'm trying to figure out what I missed. I might need to hire somebody to just read the questions to me as we do the live show. I'm just picking up random bottles of water that might have been down here for a year. Good thing I have an immune system that can handle anything. No, Nancy, the AliExpress is super weird. If you order 1 or 2 things, the shipping is free. Depending on the thing, 1 thing is usually free. 2 things are free. Sometimes between 3 and 4, it's free. At some point, when you add more to your cart, then they throw the shipping on later. And I couldn't figure out for the longest time, why are they doing that? Like, why that dissuades people from buying more. It's usually the opposite. The shipping goes lower as you order more stuff. Well, I think my only theory is the one, two, or three. If you're going to buy one, two, or three, they think you're a small person and you're testing it out, so they want to win you over with free shipping. Once you're willing to buy four, five, six, seven, then they know you're an actual person who's going to resell things. And if you're going to resell things, then they figure you know how the game works and you know there's got to be shipping. So then they tack the shipping on. But what happens is, let's say you're getting like a string of beads, and you want one string of beads is $4, right? Let's say the first one is $4. You put, oh, I want two of them. Okay, it's $8. Three of them, it's $12. Four of them should be 16. Suddenly it jumps up to 20 because they throw shipping on, and you're like, what? But then if you add more than that, if you get 5, 6, 7, 8, the shipping starts getting less and less per amount. Like, so once you're getting 30 or 40, then they realize you're a big time store, and then they treat you and they make the shipping really low. It's really ridiculous. If that whole thing confused you, then just ignore it, because all you need to do, if you're a new jewelry maker, you just need one string of beads, and then go somewhere else and buy another string of, like, they don't charge you shipping if you buy one of one kind and one of another kind and one of a different kind. They only charge you shipping if you start buying multiple of the exact same thing from the same seller. Oh, Allison says it has to do with the weight. It weighs more, so then they have to pay more, so then they have to add the shipping, I guess. All right, Space Kitten is the moderator extraordinaire. I'll let you know if I need one. Okay. This is like cutting off my forehead. Let's see if I can raise this a little bit. There we go. That should be better. All right, throw me your questions. Everybody throw me your questions. Oh, there's more questions down here. And if I missed your question, I didn't do it on purpose. I'm just bad at this. Okay, Stan, that sounds a little small, but if those are the size arrowheads you want, that sounds like a good deal. Oh, bye, Florida. Bye, Rogue Angel. You are going to know what you pay up front, but I mean, they're not going to tell you after they charge your card, but you're going to find it as you click how many you want. The price is going to change on the screen. Debbie says it's a customs thing. That makes sense. Kathy, I feel you. The intelligent kangaroos always tend to have a drinking problem. It's just something you got to take with it. You got to balance the good and the bad. Weaving. We're going to start weaving. I'm going to start weaving. I'm going to try weaving every day or every other day. So don't worry, it's coming. Kangaroos are, yeah, they're horrible. Portuguese. It's so funny. People write comments in different languages and they just put them on there, like, and then I have to give them to someone to translate and then craft a response in their language. I actually go out of my way to do it whenever I can, but I'm doing it less and less. Like in the beginning, like, okay, Spanish, you just copy it, type it into Google Translate, figure out what they're saying. French, same. You know, you could pretty much, you could put in Google Translate. Google can usually identify what it is. I had one where all the characters were like so random. It was something from East Asia that I had never seen ever. It didn't look like Chinese. It looked like a little like Arabic, but not really. I said, what is that? And I went to this lady on Facebook I know who's a language expert. And I said, what is that? And she's like, it looks like some weird form of Thai or something. I think she said Thai. And I went back and, or Filipino. and I went back and I typed in Thai or Filipino into Google Translate. Sure enough, I actually got it translated, but that was a bit too much work. Now that I have to go through hundreds of comments a day, I just can't do that anymore. I just got to be like, thanks for that cool comment in some language I don't even know what it is. Yes, Vera speaks French, thank you, and English. She's super talented. I'll send all my French comments to her. I don't get French as much. I get a lot of Spanish. Yeah, I'm gonna have more chaos. There's gonna be so much more chaos. That's all I can promise you. Sorry, I feel like this is the most disorganized live I've had yet, and that's not your fault. That's my fault. But throw me those comments those questions I missed. Put them out there again. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid if people say, "Hey, you already asked that." Just ask it as many times until I see it. My favorite place to get stones is probably AliExpress. But Amazon, it's easier because they understand your English keywords to find exactly what you want. And then if you really, really want to get specific stones, you can go to the places that deal in stones like Fire Mountain Gems. I used to go to Shipwreck Beads, but they're expensive. And I feel like you're always going to pay 3 to 5 times as much per stone. Etsy. I haven't tried Etsy for stones. That could be good. Bye, Kathy. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. No, I was never ever scared to make jewelry or art. I was making art before I could walk or talk. I had a dad who's an art teacher, and my earliest memory of art is showing my kindergarten teacher a better way to make stick figures and like being like, oh my gosh, she's an adult. How does she not get this? When I was 4 years old, I wasn't even old enough to be in kindergarten. It was more like preschool. At 4 years old, I was teaching my kindergarten teacher how to draw better stick figures, more thicker versions of stick figures. And yeah, art is like, it's like swimming to me. Like I just jump in, and like once you know how to swim, you can swim in a pool or you can swim in the deepest part of the ocean because your only job is to stay above the water. And once you know how to do it, you know how to do it. Now, like there's giant waves or there's sea creatures or there's other stuff, so that's more scary. So maybe that's a bad analogy. I don't know. But biggest seller in men's jewelry. Well, as far as the wire wrap stuff I make is it's a tie between arrowhead necklaces and leather bracelets, leather cuffs. The biggest thing men actually buy from me is hands down stainless steel rings, but I don't make those. I just buy and sell them. If you guys can find a fast way to make a wire wrapped men's ring, I don't even think men will go for that. Like men, they just like the pre-made stainless steel, like machine made silver colored ring. If you could find a fast way to make those handmade, like some people take a coin and they know how to bore out the middle and bend it and hammer it into a ring, like that's cool. Men would eat those up. If you could take, like, I want to try to take a thicker deer antler and bore out the middle and polish it and turn it into a men's ring. Men would eat those up. Men are totally into rings lately, at least the ones that are going to buy jewelry. And then like a simple crystal. Sometimes men will buy the crystals that you think would be more for women, but like much more simple. They don't need all the swirls and pretty stuff usually. And more like a tiger's eye or a black stone is something that looks more masculine that men might buy, but they don't buy them that much. It's fairly rare. A costume theory. I want to do more and more videos, and I want to do better and better videos. And I'm probably going to be selling less in person and more online. So that whole mall thing is going to it got as big as it's going to get. I originally I had a vision of having kiosks in different malls, expanding, and I never developed that business model. Like I have a friend who does that. She's in a few different malls. She has like 20 employees. Her and her husband do it together, which helps to have a partner. And they have their jewelry in like 5, 6, 7 different locations, and they go to shows on top of that, and they make a ton of money. They pay their employees a lot, but they still, at the end of the day, take home quite a bit. I don't see myself doing that. I'm going to shrink the face-to-face selling, even though I love it and I've gotten pretty good at it, and I'm going to be more selling online and making videos. That's my plan anyway. We'll see what happens. Thank you. Organic art by Leah. Yeah, keychains. Keychains are good for men. Yeah, I haven't done keychains in a long time, but those just a simple piece of leather, with a little bit of wood burning design is what I would do. Just like a simple like tab shaped, like a little rectangle with that's kind of tapered in it as it with a hole with a tiny little tiny little metal what's it called, rivet put in the whole eyelet, and then the link to the ring, the keychain ring. Yeah, my hand gestures are wild. It's because I learned sign language, but not here. I learned it on another planet that time when I was like, so it's sign language for other creatures, not human, that speak sign. So it's not sign language you would understand, but nevertheless, it's a habit. I can't help myself. Also, I direct a lot of orchestras, different times. Either that or I imagined I did. I think it's the latter. Yeah, men do buy a lot of skulls in Gothic. I don't do a lot of skulls and Gothic stuff, so I miss out on that. All right, all right. I'm gonna try to follow the comments as they come in. Go ahead, ask me questions. Okay, Stan, that sounds awesome. I don't quite follow exactly what you meant, but I'm sure if I saw you do it, it would look pretty good. Oh, B Walls, don't be afraid to sell craft fairs. You got to do it while there's still a chance. It's not going to be there forever. Pretty soon, everyone's going to buy everything online. Like while they're still there, go out to those craft sales and have fun. And displays are easy. I've like look up my videos. I have like 5 or 6 videos on making displays. You got to put in the name Matt's Crazy Art and then easy display or whatever. They're there. Those videos are there. They're easy. They're fun. I have 2 of them called portable display. Shows you how you make a display and it folds up into a suitcase and you take it home. And that sounds like it would be hard to make. It's as easy as getting 4 simple paint canvases from Michaels, a pack of 4 for $20, and then taking them up, like just opening them up, ripping the canvas off a couple of them, painting them a little bit, putting a few screws with some hinges from the hardware store, boom, portable display that you can set up all your jewelry on it and then close it up, and the jewelry stays there, so you don't have to take it on and off to set up and break down at the show. Yeah, craft fairs, that's the other thing. I'm telling you guys, you got to watch the video, How to Sell Your Art. Matt's Crazy Art. You got to put in Matt's Crazy Art, or you get somebody else's horrible video. What I found as the longer I do this is that other people who make videos similar to mine, but they're not mine, are generally horrible. You should never watch them. And if you do, I don't know if it's hard to recover from it. So what you want to do is only watch the videos I make. So you have to put in Matt's Crazy Art, like, to start, and then after that in the search bar, and then after that you put what you want to see. In this video, How to Sell Your Art. That's literally, you got to put this, type all of that into the search bar. And if you do that, then you will see this video. It'll tell you craft sales are horrible. 80% of them are horrible. You don't want to go to them, but the 20% are good, and the 5% are excellent, and you got to find them. And I show you how to find them wherever you live. It's a simple formula for how to find them. Watch the video. Yes, Angel, you did see a miter saw and a band saw. Yes, I do. I only did woodwork at one time in my life, and now I do a little bit of woodwork to make my displays, and I do a little bit of woodwork to do some jewelry here and there, and I want to do more in upcoming videos. I don't want to just do the wire wrap stuff. I think I'm always going to do the wire wrap stuff because the channel is built on it, and you guys, most of you love it. Most of you, that's your primary thing. And it's easy. I've been doing it for so long, but I think I'm going to do like one wire wrap video a day. My goal is to do one a day, and then one of painting, one of something with woodwork. Like, I want to really expand like that. So we'll see if I get to that. No, rock polishing, tumbling is what you're probably thinking of. I only bought a tiny one once, and it was a real pain. And I talked to some people who do it seriously, and they all say the same thing: super loud and messy and dirty and takes forever. So if you want to do it, it's very rewarding at the end, but you got to find a designated place, hopefully away from your house, like a garage or some far off area because you got to let this stuff run through the tumbler for like 3 weeks, and it sounds like rocks in a dryer for that entire time. PayPal and Square, those are two different companies. They're both like the top companies that are good for small business people who want to run credit cards. Did Erin V leave? Looks like she left. Fluid painting looks fun. What's AI? It's artificial intelligence. Yeah, you need to live on a farm. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, I have a video on polymer clay. Scott, go there because it's the funniest video ever. Because it's just introducing polymer clay. It's nothing fancy, but I used to do a lot of polymer clay earrings, just real simple, just squish a bunch of really crazy colors together in a pretty pattern and then make flat shapes, poke a hole, and then make earrings because they were super light and colorful. I did that for a whole almost year. That's all I made years ago. But I did a polymer clay video, Matt's Crazy Art polymer clay beads. It's polymer clay beads. It was a simple video on just making simple beads. Polymer clay community came after me. This is when I was a nobody. This is when I had so few subscribers, not even 5% of the subscribers I have as of making this video. Polymer clay community came after me with a vengeance. Like all these busybodies who consider polymer clay the height of artistic expression in all of humanity. were furious that I was so cavalier and carefree with my video and just throwing out my opinions like, it's kind of this and it's kind of that. And they're like, how dare you? It is not kind of anything. It is very specific. And you are telling it misinformation. It was the best. You got to see those comments. They're all there. I love them. I go back and read them every now and then just for fun. It is so exciting. And that blew up my channel. It made my channel more. It actually doubled my viewership that week because they were so angry. They were showing this polymer clay video to all their polymer clay friends, and they were showing it to their friends. They were all getting angry. I got record thumbs down on that video for the first week. Like I had like 23 thumbs down and no thumbs up. And now, like over a year later, I think I have way more thumbs up, and I have a ton of people who went after them and said, how dare you? Like, but it's still super funny. I love it. I'm trying to collect all the nasty comments. They're very rare. I wish I got more. The nasty comments are so funny. I'm gonna see if I can screenshot them and maybe put them all together in something. There's a girl. I didn't know anything about this girl. There's a girl who is a singer and a guitar player on YouTube for 10 years. So she had like a huge following. She had like 750,000, I think, viewers, subscribers. And she collected her nasty comments over that whole period of 10 years. Like every person who ever said something mean to her, she screenshot all the comments and put them together and wrote a song using the lyrics were made up only of nasty comments. And she has a beautiful voice, beautiful guitar playing. It was so magical. It was like, it was so great. This is the first time I'm promoting another channel. I don't even know the name of her channel. But it's the #1 channel in all of YouTube. I think that is called, I make a song out of my nasty comments or out of my something negative comments. You'll find it if you put in those keywords. It is so, she's amazing. I subscribed after that. I was like, I don't even know who you are, but that's so beautiful. And a lot of them are making fun of her feminine, and she's adorable, but people are just super nasty and rude for no reason online. So they're like picking on her being whatever. They're like picking on the shape of her body and all kinds of crazy stuff. And you're like, what is wrong with people? And I have a video. Watch my video just for fun. This other one, it's called, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called. Something about negative comments. I think it's something about negative comments. Something about thumbs down. I think I made a video about thumbs down. Why do people put thumbs down? And my theory is that every video on YouTube has almost the same amount of thumbs down. If it's a good video, it generally has 2 to 4% thumbs down. For every 100 thumbs up, there's 2 to 4 thumbs down. It's like a mathematical certainty. Like, check it out. Go to some video. Just for fun, I looked up firefighters rescuing kittens. Like the most adorable thing you could think of. And I found the most adorable videos of firefighters rescuing kittens. And the ratio of thumbs up to thumbs down was about 96 to 4. 96 thumbs up for every 4 thumbs down. I did the math. I have this theory, and you'll probably see this in your life. If you never make a video and you never go on YouTube and you never go on social media, you'll probably just meet people like this. 4% of the population is miserable, and they want everybody else to know it. Like 4% of the population sees a beautiful sunset and they're like, that's some garbage. And they live among us. They cook food we eat, and they take out garbage, and they work in hospitals, and they work in schools, and they work in the government. Like, these people live all among us, and maybe we don't know how negative they are until they're anonymous and they can secretly put it out there because they know how they'd be treated if they acted this way in person. Or maybe they do act this way in person and you know people who are that miserable all the time. Either way, I think it's so funny. And what I take away from that is, let's get philosophical. And this is what I say in that video. Let's get deep. You ready? We're going to get really, really philosophically deep. Can you handle it? Are you guys ready? You ready? If all of us in the 95% range are basically normal, like, you know, we try to be positive because life is hard and being positive is the only way to stay on top of it. And we try to be nice to people because everybody's struggling with something. And being mean is almost never beneficial. Although, you know, every once in a while somebody needs a kick in the butt. But for the most part, you lead with kindness. Okay, so we're normal. Okay, so those 4% are like crazy. They're miserable. Okay, so we can see that life is better than they can. They think life is horrible all the time. They're miserable, right? But in their perspective, they probably think we're just, I don't even know if they can understand where we're at. I don't even know if they understand where they're at. Okay. But then you have this other group that's above us, this group that's always super positive. And that's an even smaller group. I might say that's less than 1%. But you know somebody, think through your whole life, you probably know at least one person, probably 5 or 10, that are always positive, always sweet, always not phony, but always like being the person who hugs everybody, being the person who cares for those that nobody cares for, being the person hugging the outcasts. Not because they're like they can float in with the popular people or the outcasts, and everybody knows them as just a sweetheart. The most popular people on earth are like, that person's a sweetheart. And the most outcast, nerdy people on earth are like, that person's a sweetheart. And they always see life positive. And if you try to throw something negative in their world and say, well, so-and-so is blah, 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 they're like, no, I don't think that. I think so-and-so is really great. And they find something beautiful in everybody. What if they are the ones really seeing life as it is? And all of us in the middle, by comparison, are actually warped. We're seeing through warped glasses, just like we can see the people who are really negative at the bottom are seeing through warped glasses. Maybe we ourselves are not seeing life as positive as the people at the very top. Like, that's our goal, is to try to get into that level. That's my theory. That's what I take away from the thumbs down people. And the funny thing is, when I made that video about thumbs down and I said the ratio is about 4%, on that video, within a week, it evened out to about 4% people putting thumbs down on the video, calling them out for putting thumbs down. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, you guys can't even hide for one video when we're highlighting who you are and pointing you out. You can't, even then, you can't hide your negativity. It was funny. Anyway. Whew. That was, I got animated for a second. Give me some more questions, more questions. More questions. Na da 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 da. Da 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 da. Were more questions, please, more questions. Wherever you're going, I'm answering your questions. If you ever want to see the best version of that, tell me what's the best version. Let's see who can come up with it first. What's the best version of that song? Kathy, be more specific. I'm not sure what you're asking. A sheet of aluminum? Go to the art store and I mean go to the kitchen place and get some aluminum foil. No, I'm just kidding. I know that's not what you mean. I don't know where to get a sheet of aluminum. I'll have to look into that. No, nobody's wants. What's the best version of that song? Who sings the best version of that? More questions, put them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. Yes, yes, out of the ballpark. Baxter Monkey. Yes, no, Audrey. Yeah, Audrey Hepburn has one of the most popular ones, but no, Frank Sinatra probably does it too. I'm sure. And I don't want to put anybody down, but you got to watch Andy Williams. You have to Google it. I have a ton of respect for Frank Sinatra. No hate at all, but you got to hear Andy Williams is like magical. He and the Righteous Brothers. Where do these golden voices come from? Like they what planet? It's like rivers of honey. Oh, you have the same birthday as Frank? Okay, now we're getting into different worlds. Bobby Hatfield. Ugh, what does Bobby Hatfield sing? I know. Yes, Louis Armstrong. That's a completely different song, but that's a great song. And I think to myself, Janet, you got to start. You start by starting. You just start. There is no place to start. The only place you don't want to start is by not starting. The worst possible thing you can do is put off doing it. Do it. The first chance you get, do it wrong, expect to fail, expect it to go bad, and that's where you broke the ice, and now you're on your way. Bye, Kathy. Sophie's good. Domino's good. They're in a different city right now with Teddy. They're all hanging out, except Teddy can't be in the same room as them because of the vet stuff. Square Wire. I think Parawire has good Square Wire. I haven't gotten it from them yet, but that's where I'm planning to get it as soon as I'm ready to order. Oh, you guys are so great. I also want to say, I want to thank you. I don't know if I thank you enough. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. All the people on the group in Facebook are amazing. Thank you. Don't think I don't know it just because I only pop up now and then because I'm super busy. But don't think I don't read most of those posts and everybody being super encouraging. Don't think I don't read on the 30-day challenges. All the comments, people encouraging everybody else. I read every stinking one of those comments except that one day where YouTube got glitchy and I couldn't see the comments. That was just one day. I have not done the Square Wire. I got to do it. It looks so great. Yay, first wire wrap. Yeah, 28 by 24, do it. That's even better. I've used that size. I only did a small one in the video so I wouldn't overwhelm anybody. Make big ones. Make big displays. I did like if you can make a display big enough to 6 foot high and 10 foot wide and you have enough jewelry to fill it up, you're winning. Like there is no limit. The only limit is when you get to the point where you start panicking and you feel like it's too much and you feel like you bit off more than you can chew and you start crying. That's the point where you might want to pull back a little bit and do something smaller and then come back. Miss Nancy, I said in the very beginning of the video, Teddy is getting adopted. We connected with everybody. He's getting picked up in about a week and a half and driven down to Virginia, where his new home will be, with a lady who just lost her cat of like 16 years and is really sad and wanted a new cat and is home all the time and can give him a loving home, no other animals. Her and another woman live together, and he will just be the king of the house. That's what she said. That was her own words. Um, oh, that sounds like good. 24 gauge. It depends on how many feet you got when you want to do, like, if you got a good deal on the price. Um, yep. I talked to both women. One came to my booth in person. The other one I talked to on the phone pretty extensively. I talked to each one for about 25 minutes. Ooh, take square wire and twist it with a drill. That's clever. You don't like half round wire? I haven't used that either. Oh, Bobby Hatfield is he's one of the Righteous Brothers. I'm retarded. Sorry. Isn't the wood burner so fun? It is so fun. So glad you're having fun. The dub lives? Did you misspell that? What's dub lives? Angel. Recycling pieces is so fun. Rose gold? I might have, I can't remember. LaDonna Mobile. I don't know what that is. I probably should know what that is. Oh, live sales? What? That's a great idea. Live sales? Like, okay, so I do live and I just like the jewelry channel, like QVC. We have this one going for $35. Do I hear 35? Do I hear? Well, that's more like a auctioneer, but still, like, we got this one. Our beautiful model Sandy is showing you these new earrings, and they are going for. We just finished them in the video that you can watch today. That would be fun. That would be so easy because then I would just knock it out within the time frame of the video. I just so give me your address. Except, oh, that would be scary. Would you put your address on the screen? Because then you wouldn't want to put your address on the screen for like creepy people to copy. I guess I'd give you a place. Send your address to this spot and blah 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 blah. So and so, or putting so and so down. They won this. I think I'm going to need a helper for that to keep all the addresses and everything together and make sure the payments go through. Everyone will have to be contacted. Yeah, we'd have to use PayPal. I can run credit cards by phone, but that gets annoying when you have to track everyone down and you can't get them to pick up the phone right away. Okay, so you have to do PayPal to participate. Okay. Yeah, if I did live on Facebook, I could send it to Messenger. I could do live on Facebook in the group. That would be fun. Yvonne Williams does it. I clicked on Yvonne's live show today for about 2 minutes. I had never watched anyone else's live show. I watched Kelly Boyd Wire once briefly. I'll have to watch one of her live shows. I bet it's still up. Maybe I can still watch it if she doesn't take it down. Turntables, yeah. And elevator music. Good night, good night. All right, let's not get too excited about this Yvonne character. She's okay. She's just okay. All right, let's calm down a little bit. Remember what's important here. All right, Heather Boyd's okay too. Let's not promote too many other people here. Let's calm down there. That's better. Yes, thank you, Christine. Let's get back to focusing. Thank you, BB Walls. Leather, yes, tons of leather videos. I need to do more, but oh my goodness, yes, put in thank you, Space Kitten. No, you don't have to say who's better. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that you guys just keep doing what you do. Just keep making stuff. Yeah, I have like put in Matt's Crazy Art leather bracelets, leather whatever. I can't remember how many I have. I have a leather keychain video. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. It's one of the better videos. It's back when I used to edit stuff like crazy, so it has all kinds of fun camera angles and crazy guitar music, and I actually play guitar and drums on that video, and I synced them together, and I do ridiculously goofy dancing all in one video with the leather. Yeah, you got to look it up. That's my recommended for this. Of all the videos I told you to watch, you have to watch Matt's Crazy Art leather keychains. Oh my goodness. I hope I see more views on that tonight. And comments. I want all of you to comment on it. That's your assignment. Because that is a fun video. It's short too. I think it's only like 7 minutes long. And yes, I use the wood burner on it. That's what I do. I discovered that the wood burner works on leather even better than wood. If better is just as good but faster. Like on wood, it goes slow. On leather, it's like as fast as almost using a pen. Actually, it is as fast. Sometimes it's faster. Sometimes you got to go really fast or you'll burn right through it. Oh yeah, leather. I have leather earrings too. I have leather earrings where I do a little leather teardrop flat shape, and then I do a wire metal thing on top of it. So it's wire wrapping with leather. I need to do more of those. Like you guys are giving me, I'm going to write down what I need to do. That's my assignment. I need to do more leather earrings with stones. That's what I want to do. With wire wrap stones. This will be a good, if we run out of things to talk about every live show, we can just discuss what kind of new videos I'll make that week. No, Cindy, I'm just teasing. Thank you for sticking up for me, but it's okay. You can talk about other people, except for Lan Ann person. Don't talk about Lan Ann. There's a problem. No, I'm just kidding. I have nothing against Lan Ann or Lan On or however you say it. I don't know if I have a guitar here. Oh, here's one. This is not my good guitar. This is my guitar. I got it off Amazon for a couple bucks and I painted it. So it was a fun video to paint it, but I don't think it plays the best. Well, I bet it's not even in tune. Oh, it's not bad. No idea if this is tuned to like real tuning, but we'll tune it to itself. I'm so rusty, forgive me. Yeah, that's even the strings are kind of icky. They're kind of a cheap, but let me take my bracelets off. Let's see. What do we have? I don't like that tuning. It's coming back to me. I haven't done this in forever. I'm starting to hear the fine, the finer. I don't know, microtones in there. It's a little better. It's much better. Ugh. This is really. Yeah. Anyway, there's some guitar. Let's see what people are saying. Lanhan Solo. We're gonna call her Lanhan Solo. Hi, Christy. Yes, relative pitch. Leather macrame jewelry with stones. Oh my goodness. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. Hello, Puerto Rico. I hope your earthquakes are not causing too much trouble. Thank you, Christy. I'm working on. I got to get back to the music. I need to work on it. I'm very rusty. That was a concert, definitely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Renee. Thank you, Miss Nancy. Oh, bye, Space Kitten. Yeah, I've made my own wood beads, kind of, sort of. It's kind of time consuming, and I go through beads so quickly. I made my own ceramic beads a lot. That's pretty fun. I made polymer clay beads, as that video shows. Wind chimes with wire wrapped stuff with LED lights. That you better do that, because that sounds like something really fun that you are thinking about doing, and that's a ton of stuff I've never worked with. I don't do electricity very well. I tried to make a lamp once, and I bought a kit and I tried to put it together, and I was like, why is this thing so complicated? Oh yeah, have a good night. Oh. Yeah, I did all nothing but ceramics before I did jewelry. I did all ceramic vases, and that's how I got into jewelry. I started making ceramic jewelry, and then I went into wood jewelry, all wood jewelry, and then I made my way slowly into wire wrapping. Anyway, oh, thank you. Allison's seen the vases. Yes. Let's see. I don't want to be an E. I don't know. I don't think it starts on the tonic. Let's see. Yeah, I'll have to look that up. Good night, everybody. I'm not leaving, but a lot of people are leaving. There we go. We got the key. To drifters out to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbows and waiting round the bend. My huckleberry friend, Moon River and me. Two drifters out to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. What is that minor key? C. I don't know. C. I think it's A minor. We're after the same rainbows and waiting round the bend. My huckleberry friend, Moon River and horrible. It's, as they say in Eastern Europe, horrible. I'm losing everybody. Good night. Good night. Good night. Oh, why, thank you, Beverly. Oh, let's sing more. Moon River, la da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da, ooh, 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 ooh. Unchained Melody. I will butcher it. Let's see. Can I do it in G? My darling, I hung good for your touch. A long, lonely time goes by so slowly, and time can do so much. Are you still my I need your love, Godspeed your love to me. There it is. I was looking for the 7th. Lonely rivers flow to the sea, to the sea, to the sea, to the sea, to the sea. to the sea. Yeah. Da, 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 da. Wait for me. Wait for me. Wait for me. I'll be coming home. Wait for me. Oh, my love. My darling, I hunger for your love. I have better control in the falsetto when I haven't warmed up or practiced. Lonely time. Time goes by so slowly, and time can do so much. Are you still mine? I need your love. I need your love. Godspeed your love to me. Okay, that was enough. Yes, next time I will bring a potter's wheel and Demi Moore, if she agrees to come on, and we will sing that song live with clay spinning for all of you. And that's how we'll end the live show. That was absolutely horrific, but you guys are not complaining, so I thank you. Is your son? It's your son's birthday, Debbie? Are you still there? Sorry, I missed a bunch of comments. I'm trying to go back. Thank you, Allison. Thank you, Scott. Is Debbie still there? She said it was her son's birthday. I'm not sure. Maybe she left. I usually stay for 2 full hours. That's been the tradition. This is like the 5th or 6th show, and I every time I try to cut it short. Once I was really tired and I cut it short at like an hour and a half, but this generally goes for 2 hours. So you guys still have another 22 minutes. Thank you. Oh, I guess Debbie left. Well, I was going to sing happy birthday to her son, but happy birthday, Debbie's son. And she can watch it later, maybe. And you guys are too kind. Thank goodness the Righteous Brothers aren't here to hear that. Yeah, I have to do more pottery. I need to sign back up for the pottery that I was going to. That's in my other city that I go back and forth from. Oh yeah, happy birthday, Kelly. Yeah, I didn't remember all the words either. Was it lonely rivers flow to the sea, lonely rivers sigh, wait for me? Is that what it is? Something like that. Oh, you got to do pottery. Pottery is the funnest. It is the easiest. It's just playing with mud. It's so great, but it's sanitary mud. So it's like playing with mud without any of the problems of mud, like being unsanitary. It is so fun. It is the seriously, pottery is the most therapeutic of all media, of all art media, I say. Yeah, working with a pottery wheel is hard. It looks so easy. You watch the movie Ghost or you watch any pottery person and it just looks like they're just like, "Oh, I want to take the clay and make it do this and make it do this and make it do this." And the vase just forms like it looks magical. It is not that easy at all. It is really hard. It is as hard as riding a bike for a 4-year-old when they're starting out. That's how long it's going to take you to just get the clay to not attack you. When you put it on that wheel, it's not like cotton candy. It's not like, oh, oh, pretty spinning. Oh, how so nice. I'll just shape you. It is like a lump of thick, muscular, angry, wet stone. And it is heavy. And if you push it, it pushes right back at you violently. Like, not to say you're going to get hurt, but the whole idea is the very first thing you have to do is center the clay. If you don't center it, you can't make anything. So as you're trying to center it, you have to push it from all the different lumps. You have to push all the different lumps into the perfect center. And then as you do that, you can start to form it once you get it centered. But getting it centered is really hard. The clay pushes back on you. And if you push it too hard, you throw it off center. If you don't push it hard enough, you throw it off center. And it's not just one thing. You have to get it centered, the entire thing from top to bottom, all around. And basically, to do it right, you have to you have to lean over, you have to hunch over, you have to anchor your elbows into your sides of your knees, and you have to hunch, and you have to use the core of your body and put all your muscles from head to toe that you can to put pressure on this little ball of clay, and just like a vice, you have to turn into a human vice and force pressure, but not pushing it too hard. You have to go very slow but forcefully to get that clay to center. And it takes a couple weeks usually for most people to pick it up. Some people it takes a few months to get it, like going to pottery once a week for 3 hours. It takes a few months to really get it. But once you get it down, it's like riding a bike. Once you get the bike going, then you don't, after that, you might wobble a little bit. You pretty much know how to keep it going. So once you get it centered, then you start learning how you open it up in the middle, then you pull the walls up and all that stuff. You have to keep it centered the whole time, because if you throw it off again, it's going to do what it did in the movie. Instead of being beautiful, it's going to start flying. But it's not like in the movie. It's like, oh, it's kind of funny. No, in real life, it's like, blah! It's a big, angry, like gross, disgusting pile of mud that just starts flopping all over the place. And you can't, once it goes too far, you can't get it back. You got to take the whole thing off and start over. So there you go. There's your pottery lesson for today, without any clay or wheel, just teaching. Debbie, are you still there? No, you should do. Here's the thing about clay. You don't have to throw on the wheel. It's called throwing when you build it up. When you make a vase, they call it throwing on the wheel. You don't have to throw on the wheel. You can hand build. That's what the other half of pottery people do. Hand building means you just take the clay and you make stuff with it like you're a little kid, like just like the polymer clay. Except when you bake it, it turns to stone and it becomes a real usable thing, like a cup or a bowl or a whatever. Whereas polymer clay turns to brittle plastic, and you can't eat out of it, and it looks like plastic. No matter how much you touch it up, it still looks kind of like a toy, whereas the real clay looks like a magnificent piece of marble when you're done. So play with it, but it's so fun to play with. And you hand building, you roll out slabs, and then you slice the slabs with a needle, and then you construct things with the slabs, like little like you would build houses and stuff. And it is so fun. Super fun. So definitely, yeah, you can coil out snakes, like make long pieces, and then you build stuff with the coils of snake. And there's all different ways to hand build. And there's pinch pots where you just take a lump and you just keep poking out the bottom and pulling up the sides until you just pinch it into the shape of a bowl. Yeah, all pottery is functional. If you use regular real earthenware clay and you fire it in a kiln, the kiln gets as hot as a volcano. Like it literally turns the clay almost, the clay is basically stone. It's like powdered stone mixed with water, and it literally sucks out all the water. It fuses all of that powdered stone into solid stone, and it makes it a stone. You're basically making a stone in a volcano. That's what kiln fired clay is. Yeah, so Christy knows what I'm talking about. I know, Angel, I know the polymer clay people are still listening. Yeah, that's what I said in the video, that people were like so angry. I was like, polymer clay is like it's the color of crayons. It's for kids. It looks like plastic when you're done. Sorry. After working 10 years in a pottery studio, polymer clay is not like, it doesn't make me feel like I'm being a bad person by calling it like a cartoonish kid's clay. Now, you can take polymer clay and work with it in a way that it doesn't look like plastic and it doesn't look like cartoony colors, like crayon colors. And there are all kinds of ways to do that. But in this video where I talked about polymer clay, I just mentioned that there are ways to do it. I said, for a beginner, you just want to have fun and smush the colors together and see what fun you have. Well, anyway, the polymer clay committee were really upset. And I've gone to shows where they sell polymer clay bowls and vases for like $800. So that's a thing. That's a real, it's a real, I mean, people have developed it into an amazing art form. At the end of the day, that beautiful vase is only functional on the shelf, which is totally fine. And it could be so beautiful. You know, people could have spent 30 hours making it and coated it in all different kinds of special paint and, you know, gotten it to look metallic or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's still a lot more brittle. And now a regular vase is brittle too. If you drop it on the ground, it'll break. But it is essentially stone, where the polymer clay is not. It is essentially a plastic-based clay. They didn't like that I called it plastic. They didn't like that I said plastic comes from crude oil. They said all of that is evil lies. And I had to Google it to make sure I was right. And as far as I know, I'm right. Plastic comes from crude oil. I mean, all plastic is based from oil. Polymer is just another word for plastic. And that's just what it is. I'm sure there's other stuff mixed in. There's emulsifiers and hardeners and stuff. Yep, you guys get it. The painting over my shoulder is, I went to a Bob Ross night, and we tried to copy the Bob Ross, and I got into trouble with the teacher. I told this story in another video. I got in trouble with the teacher because I kept trying to do my own thing, and it doesn't look at all like a Bob Ross. Like, the sky looks like it's on fire in another planet, and the mountains look way too harsh. Like Bob Ross's was way more subtle and gray, and it looked like way more soothing and relaxing, and mine was way more insane. And the teacher kept getting angry at me, and he tried to take my brush out of my hand and fix it. And I was like, no, don't touch my painting. Are you crazy? So then he finally gave up, and he just helped all the other students and told me that I was just trouble. Allison, and Gail, I was thinking about slowly closing the mall and moving everything online. I was going to try to do it all in January and make like a huge switch, and it emotionally and in every other way like overwhelmed me. And I realized I need to spread it out over a lot more time and slowly do that. Plus I have a ton more. Angel, how will you help me? I'm open to any help. I have a ton more inventory that if I just leave now, I mean, some of it I could sell to you guys or sell to anyone online, but a lot of it's not handmade. It's just stuff I was buying and selling. And so I can't put it on a website saying it's handmade when it's not. So I need to move. I have like a lot of inventory I need to move that's just retail. So center your chakras. Absolutely. Just go like, oh, there we go. All centered. Debbie, happy is it your son's birthday today? Did you say that? I can see Debbie, I can see her comments. For a second there, I was worried the other paintings fell off the wall. Thank you, Costume Theory. Not in a creepy way. There's nothing wrong with it being friendly. You can be friendly to me all day long. Just if you only met me today, don't ask to hang out with me online and chat all day long for hours on end if you just met me that same day. That's the only thing where I'm going to be like, what? Cool. Everyone say Debbie is here. Debbie, I keep asking you if it's your son's birthday. We can all see you. Just say yes. "2020, yes, success. Debbie is here." eBay. Christy, no. Every time I wedged my clay, I was in a studio full of clay people, so nobody was giving anybody funny looks. James, I'm not good with keeping up with details of staying organized and keeping track of numbers, but I basically keep it all in my head, kind of informally. So what it comes down to is malls are, and all retail places are slowly but steadily dropping every year because everyone's buying everything online and they're closing. Like retail stores are closing, they're going away. Amazon and all the online stores are taking over everything, and that's not a bad thing. That's just life changing. Like, the market changes and you got to move with the market. Life changes. Everything in life changes. So you got to move with it, and that's part of staying alive. As soon as you try to get too comfortable and start falling asleep, then you're not going to stay vibrant. So yeah, that's why I'm slowly moving to online, because this year I hit harder than I ever did for the holiday sales. Like the holiday sales, when I make half my money for the whole year, and which is basically the 6 weeks leading up to Christmas. And this year I literally worked harder than any other year ever. Like I pushed it to the limit. I even got sick and kept pushed through the sickness. I took a little time off, but hardly any. And I made the best displays I ever had. I made the most inventory I ever had. I had the best, I was at the height of all the best stuff I did. I spent the most time interacting with customers, and still my sales were lower than last year. And the reason is everything retail is going down. Now my sales were great, like compared to people who are just starting out and are scared and don't know how to do this and the way I used to be years ago. I have no complaints. My sales were awesome, but if I worked that hard and only had a certain amount to show for it, that's been less than every year before this year doing the holiday sales in a mall, then that tells me next year is going to be even lower, and then the year after that's going to be even lower. So throwing myself into the internet seems like the way to go. And this channel has been great. And the few times I tried to sell using this channel has been really worked. I just got to work out the kinks. So I guess Debbie is recommending eBay because that's one of the things. The guy next to me told me I need to do eBay. He's like, do eBay, only eBay. That's the way to go. Allison, I have your spiders ready, and I have the other lady's spiders ready. I was going to mail them out today, and I did not. I also have to mail something to another lady who paid for something, and so I got to get that done tomorrow. Oh, Robin did not like eBay. And Angel did not like eBay. Okay, see, I haven't done eBay, and I've never done eBay. I bought from eBay years ago. My brother-in-law tried to put some jewelry of mine on eBay like 7 years ago, and it just sat there. No, it didn't get any attention at all. So, but that was 7 years ago. Yeah, I'm saying Etsy might be what I go back to. Oh, Debbie had success on eBay. Debbie made 29,000 in 1 year on eBay. So Debbie says yes, eBay. The guy next to me, who's like a tech guy, he says yes, eBay. Like I said, this week I really need to look at Shopify, eBay, Etsy, Amazon, Facebook Marketplace, and just see what's going to work best. Facebook Marketplace, says Gail. Or should I just do Facebook? Should I just do a Facebook in the group? Both? Just Facebook. Hi, Linda. Thanks. Yeah, there are too many artists on Etsy. But if I'm telling my viewers to only go to Etsy, like from this channel, I might have a better shot than the last 3 times I tried to do Etsy, and I couldn't get too many people to go there. Well, if I did Marketplace, I would mail it. I wouldn't have anybody have to come pick it up for me because most of you are like far away in other states or other countries. Ooh, oh, we're almost at 2 hours. Okay. First 100 listings are free. What, eBay? I didn't know that. You can go live on Instagram and it'll link to your Facebook. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I'm still new on Instagram. If you do Instagram, come find me. Matt's Crazy Art, all one word. Yep, we're at 2. Well, we're not quite at 2 hours. According to my counter, we're at a minute away from 2 hours. Yeah, the thing with Etsy is you got to market people to come to your page. You can't just set it up and have it sit there. That's what I discovered. I did Etsy 3 times, and I had a big success the opening day because I told all my Facebook followers to go there. And then after a week, it dwindled to nothing, and nobody went back, and it just sat there. Debbie, you're expecting me to be organized. That's a little bit scary. Okay, so everybody has opinions on what platforms work. So again, I'm going to have to just do my research and see what's best for me with my rare set of problems and issues and weak ADHD issues. Good night, Karen. Good night, everybody. I'm going to go. I'm going to call it a night. I'm pulling up right on 2 hours, but I'm going to give you guys a couple more minutes if you want to ask a final question. Get a final, yeah, first world problems, totally. Get a final question in there. Thank you, Space Kitten. Good night, everybody. But again, if you've been burning to ask a question and I didn't address it because I've been mumbling and rambling, yeah, Amazon has a handmade thing, but I don't know how to do that either. But I should put that on the list, right? Can't hurt. Could be really getting big. Thank you, Allison. Good night, Scott. Good night, everyone from Chicago. Thank you, Angel. Yeah. Again, anybody have any last questions? Throw them out there. I don't have to stop at 2 hours. I can go over 5 minutes but if all you guys got your questions and you're good, I'm gonna go. Parawire, jameparawire.com, P-A-R-A wire. That painting is crooked. Are they all crooked, or is the camera crooked? I think the camera's crooked. And the paintings. Space Kitten. The first song I played, I think it was Moon River. Moon River. Look up Moon River by Andy Williams. That's a great one. So pretty. Okay, Debbie's really pro eBay, and that's what the tech guy who works next to me was saying, that eBay has those 3 levels. The building is crooked. Thanks, everybody. My eyes are crooked. John Denver. All right, let's go out with John Denver. It's funny because I love John Denver. Is like one of the best, I think. What is he? Oh, this is almost too much to end on. You fill up my senses like a night in the forest, like a mountain in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a sleepy, like a song in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. Fill up my senses, come fill me again. Come let me love you, let me give my life to you. Let me drown in your laughter, let me die in your arms, let me lay down beside you, let me always be with you. Come let me love you, come love me again. Come let me love you, come love me again. And there's one more verse like the first. That B minor, I really need to work on. I'm buzzing a lot of strings. Good night, everybody. We sign out now as it comes upon 2 hours and 5 minutes. Da, da, dee, 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 dee. See you guys next time. Thank you all. You're the best. Thank you for coming. Watch a bunch of videos, older ones, and I will see you guys soon. Boop, boop. How do I turn this off?